Dust Raiders. Is it worth a buy? Let's read the words of the developer. Step into the unforgiving wasteland in Dust Raiders, a strategic management game where survival is just the beginning. I wouldn't exactly call this a strategic survival game. It is strategic, and it is a survival. Yeah, it's a strategic. It's not like a strategy game. It's quite a brutal game. It's a very brutal game. It's Mad Max. You are Mad Max. I don't care what the hell they call this. You're Mad Max. It's after the apocalypse, guys. Keir Starmer's had his way, and there's no fucking petrol to be had anywhere. Alright, there's a bit of petrol. And you need a bit of petrol because your car gets really shitty gas mileage. It really does. It needs boosting a bit. Alright, what you do is, guys, this is a demo. Free for all. Grab it. It's great fun. It really is great fun. You start off on foot, but you quickly get a car after you've done 2 tiny little missions. So you got your car. You're at this place where you get free petrol and free repairs. It's great. But they've got naught else. It's a desolate, empty. They've got no traders, nothing really. So you need to get out there and explore. So you grab yourself a quest off the job board, head out and find another place, another city in the middle of nowhere. And this city sells guns. Big guns. Lots of different types of guns. It also sells fuel. It's not free at this place. You got to buy it. You can repair your trusty old battered car as well. You can hire crew. You can buy other cars. And there's another job board. Grab another job. Buy some goods that are really cheap. You can tell that there's a red line and a green line next to the actual goods for sale. If it's a green line, that means they've got an abundance of it and it's good to buy. It's cheap. If it's a red line, that's where you sell your stuff. So grab some cheap shit with your money. Head off on your new quest and see what you discover. Now, you can't go very far when you do this. The gas mileage is really bad, as I mentioned earlier. You'll be running out of gas very quickly. You keep an eye on it at the top of your screen so you make sure when you're exploring that before it gets half empty, you head back to where you came from if you haven't found anything new. But you will discover loads and loads of points of interest on the map where there'll be little kind of mini games, if you like, where you'll have to make decisions on things that you find, and that'll be a good outcome or bad outcome, may even kill you. Or you might get rewarded with lots and lots of nice loot to sell. There's gangs who roam the wilderness as well, and that's when the combat comes into it. Whenever you come across a gang, you will enter the combat screen where your fleet of vehicles, if you have one, there'll just be the one. If you have 2, you'll see 2. And it's a very basic game, but it's really good fun. Your car just heads to the right of the screen all the time. You can change the lanes. There's actually lanes, although they're not visual, but there are little lanes that you drive in. And if you get a blockage that's coming up in your lane, on the right-hand side of the screen, there'll be like a little warning will come up saying that, in a few seconds there's a roadblock, so you have to switch lanes. And then the enemies will come in as well. They might come from the top, the right, the bottom, or the left. And there'll be a yellow circle around your car. Anything that comes into that circle will get shot at. If you right-click on one of the enemies, that's the car you'll focus on. You also have any special things that you've equipped. For example, my car does side swipes, so I can do quite a bit of damage just by ramming the cars. I've also got a rocket launcher on the roof, which is very handy. And these have cooldowns. They are key bound, but I found that it was very hit and miss whether they worked pressing a key, so I prefer clicking. They're 100% work when you click, but too many times when I've relied on the key presses, it just hasn't worked. So it's a bit clunky. You can also hold down the space bar to slow everything down because it does go a little bit fast. You can see the egg time in the top right of how much you have left of that. It does recharge. Everything kind of recharges. So, you needn't worry about using that too much. But when you want to switch vehicles, you have to click on the other vehicle and then you can control that, tell that where to go. And when you've got 3 vehicles in there, or even 2, it does get a bit kind of stressful as you're trying to kind of put the cars where you want them. But it is good fun. At the end of the fight, you'll get all the scrap and your car will probably be in a shit state. You'll need to get it repaired and refueled. But you will have the spoils of victory to sell to get some really good profit. And that's essentially the game. You go around this wasteland, looking at points of interest, exploring, passing the little skill tests that you have to do at the different places that you go to, combating the enemies, and trading. Lots of trading. Buy low, sell high. It's all about supply and demand. If you find a place that supplies a certain thing, buy it up and take it across the wilderness to somewhere where they need it, and they'll give you a good bit of money for it. I do think that the trading could be refined a bit more. It's very kind of low par stuff. You buy 2 or 3 things, and you might sell them to somewhere where they're desperately in need of it. And after you've sold them like 2 things, the little line balances out between red and green just off a couple of sales, and it's kind of a bit shit. I would like to see it, hold the price a bit longer, but it is a demo and it's an early build of the game. So there's a lot of things need work on it. You should be able to go a bit... I would like to see them expand the map more so that travelling between cities is further. So it feels like you're actually travelling, because you kind of travel 60 foot and you run out of fuel and you've reached another city. It's like, what? That took me like 10 seconds to get there. It's a bit shit. It should take you way longer to get from city to city, and you should be able to run further on the fuel to make it just that bit more immersive. But it's a great little game. I had a blast playing it. You get 15 days in the demo, like in-game days, so you can get a good feel for the game in that. Links in the description if you want to check it out. I'll be giving it a full review when it drops. But so far, guys, Dust Raiders is a great, fun little game.